Hey guys, welcome to the Save Session, the sessions you always want to save. And since we were talking a little bit about game coverage from last time due to the state of play, the Xbox showcase, everything, we want to know what are some games that had good advertisement, and then maybe still failed, or ones that had bad advertisement, still succeeded. Basically, the whole effect on advertisement versus the media that it's covering. And Bruce, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, and just to clarify for those who are unaware, when we mean like advertisement, like we would mean some form of push for it, i.e. trailers being the most typical one, gameplay,
trailers,
demos,
devs coming out talking about it a lot.
Yeah, social media posts, like comment updates and all that stuff. So I'm going to kick us off with one that's super easy for me personally because it's in my favorite franchise, Halo. Halo 5 had arguably some of the top tier trailers ever put out, and like in my personal opinion, Halo's the godfather of trailers because it's at least in the shooter game genre.
I remember, I think like didn't one of the Halos, like Halo 3, didn't it cost like over 100 million just for the trailer?
Dude, they had like several of them bad boys because they went from a stop motion trailer to a live action to, I want to actually a couple live actions, but it was obviously like CGI due to like the fantasy elements. But then they had one strictly where it's like, hey, this is what it would look like if you were in a confrontation with X, Y, and Z enemies. My favorite trailer, but then the most infamous one, and I mean infamous in the best way possible, is when John was a kid talking to another kid, and then they were just like,
maybe someone up there was wondering what it's like here.
And fast forward, and his helmet's just on the ground. And it's just like explosions, boom, and all that crazy hype stuff, right? But back to Halo 5.
I'm sorry, when you did that, you sound like a little kid, like, yeah, they were looking at,
you know what?
with the stars.
You know what?
They cut the Halo helmet.
You know what?
See, but that was intentional because they're children explaining the story while this is happening.
I get you.
Yeah.
I didn't see the trailer then.
It's okay. I'll put it in there, so if you watch the video, you'll see a little bit of it. But back to the main point of being Halo 5. Halo 5, this whole mystery of the game concept was hunt the truth. So they had a live action miniseries built around it, based around the new character called Spartan Locke, or he was Agent Locke at this time. And the whole point of it was, hey, like we discussed, Master Chief gone rogue. Why did he gone rogue? We need a special team, special guy. Advertise special guy to find the guy. You know what I'm saying? So you had trailers going like, wow, what was me? We lost.
All the trailers I saw were just like, because Halo 4 and Halo 1 are the only games I've truly beaten. Did I fully pay attention to the story? No. I just know Halo 4, spoilers. Cortana basically dies, and then Halo, Master Chief just basically goes like on like some mourning quest or something. Like he's just mourning the whole time. People say he went rogue due to grief or something. And that's all I knew from the game and from it is that Master Chief might actually turn out to be the bad guy because Cortana died.
See, and interesting enough that you said that is because I really hope I'm not misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure it was the Halo 5 trailer where John didn't have his chest plate on, right? And he had some cloak. But the thing was, he was carrying the chip that had Cortana in it, right? So when a Guardian pops up all...
You sound like Luigi trying to be an opera singer.
See, I pulled that from Battle Block Theater when he was describing the whale going...
Like, made it super scary, and I think there was a shark.
But it was kind of crazy because when the Guardian showed up, every fan, me included, we were like, what is that? What is that? Like giant mechanical bird thing destructive that like grew out of the earth like it was Unicron from the Bayverse Transformers. And I'm sitting here just like, you know what I'm saying? Just for the game to come out, not any part of the trailers were involved. So the one trailer that everyone really, really, really looked at was like they showed civilian life of everyone reacting to John's death, right? Just to find out he's running through the city, causing a ruckus and a havoc. And at this point, because it was like a cinematic trailer type situation, so it was part 1, 2, 3 type shit. So the last trailers were split. So there was one part where it was John laying on the ground with a giant bullet hole in his chest for some reason, which we have never seen in our days. Only in books, though. Game-wise, never. And then it was the same trailer, but it was the guy hunting him. Because it was like, that's why it was titled Hunt the Truth. Because you don't know if John's being hunted or if Locke was being hunted or who's really hunting who. Why did he do this? X, Y, and Z. Just for the game to be like, yeah, she's not Cortana's not dead. John, he was sad about it, and he had a PTSD hallucinogenic dream about her. She looked fine. She's controlling the antagonist of the game, by the way. She started a war that we didn't know anything about. Time skip. She's perfectly fine. She can touch John now for some reason, like as I can easily touch you, and then just.
So, as much as you're losing, you make fun of me all the time for losing my shit on like franchises like Star Wars, sometimes Pokemon, and I can see the same thing in you right now. Just your brain absolutely melting from the absolute stupid from a franchise you love.
Yeah, because I had it. Okay, case in point, the big bad is called I think it's like the Eternal, Warden Eternal. He has the ability to telekinesis or some shit, everything. Mm-hmm. Cortana just mini ball. And you're just like, this motherfucker just spawned 500 copies and we were expected to beat it. And she just said, nah, please, that's my John.
Yeah, that sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you expect like a big epic battle and then the game's like, hey, don't worry. It's kind of like you said within the Pokemon games with Gen 8 where it's just like giant Pokemon are appearing all over the sea. And then you're just like, okay, let me get in there. No, don't worry about it. Why even bring it up then? Why even show it? Why even bring up this awesome epic thing if I'm not going to be a part of it? I'm the main character. Just like same thing with that Halo. Like, I'm the main character. I should have been in there. I should have been shooting them. I should have been exploding things. I should be the guy doing the cool things.
Yeah, and instead of actually being the guy doing the cool... Like, Halo 5 has one good scene, and that was when it started. When they had the Spartan Locks team jumping down all cinematic Avengers type shit going through buildings, and not buildings, but going off of different enemy vehicles, a tank, a ship carrier, all that shit. Fast forward later, why is an elite trying to fuck a Spartan? Sarah Palmer's Sarah Palmering, and she flew a ship somewhere. I don't know. Halsey has one arm for some reason. You're just like, a major antagonist of the last game gets basically almost off screen in the first 5 minutes of the game. And you're just like, what? So this is an example of great advertisement, but horrible execution. So yeah. I don't know what's happening.
Also, it's one of those things where the advertisement didn't match the product, is what you would say.
Yeah, expectations, reality.
Yeah, because it shows this is what the game's going to be about. The game comes out, it's like, nah, this is actually what the game's about.
You know what's crazy?
What?
It actually doesn't have that bad of a multiplayer. It's just people hated the story so much. And ironically enough, this kind of ties into our last video, or last two videos. Professional gamers actually impacted this, like the pro gamer space actually caused.
I can imagine, because they're the most consistent reoccurring fans that come back.
That was the game specifically geared for them, actually. But that one still has pretty solid combat.
But even then, most competitive gamers, from what I've seen and understand, don't really care about like stories.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Which
that's why a new Call of Duty will come out and most of them will never play the story and think it's just buns or not care because they just care about the multiplayer.
Yeah, but I mean, that's enough Halo rant. You go home, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I had some of mine written down, and this one isn't going to be like yours. It's not going to be a major rant because I wanted to also bring up some things I thought had three things I thought had good, like what you said, good. Advertising, but didn't meet expectations in some way. Mm-hmm. And one of them was Callisto Protocol, made by the same original
Dead Space, right?
Yeah, that's made by the same developers of Dead Space, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I kind of thought when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, are they like spiritually rebooting the franchise or something?" Did the
It's kind of like what happened with Back 4 Blood.
Did the remake come out at this time or no?
No, the remake had not. I think the remake had been announced, but I don't think it had come out yet. Because Callisto Protocol, they shadow dropped a trailer. Well, didn't shadow drop, but I'm pretty sure it was announced at either like State of Play or Xbox or the game, like the Game Awards or Summer Game Award, whatever. It was announced somewhere during like one of the major shows, and everyone was super excited. Then when people got their hands on it, I didn't play it, but from what I heard, like a lot of people were disappointed and it did not meet sales expectations because a lot of people said it was just kind of boring. It was just kind of boring and didn't do anything that great, or it was just gore for the sake of gore. From what I've read, again, I can't speak too much on it, but that's one of my examples of games that for some reason had great advertising because I saw it everywhere, but for some reason...
Did you ever play it?
No, I didn't ever play it.
Have you ever watched gameplay on it?
Watch gameplay on it? No. The next one I can say I absolutely have seen. I have seen trailers and I have played it. I haven't beaten it because the game was so abysmal. I just couldn't get through it. And I tried so hard. I put 20 hours into it before I gave up.
I'm gonna say let me guess. But
yeah, 5 seconds. 5,
4, 3, 2,
1.
Scribblenauts.
That is correct. At Scribblenauts, me, I'm a big Scribblenauts guy. I was back in 2000 whatever. I love Scribblenauts. You know me,
dude. Yeah, when it first came out, it was cool.
Yeah, nah. What I was gonna talk about is Marvel's Avengers, the game. Basically made by, I think, a section of Square Enix called Crystal Dynamics, I think.
Same people that made Suicide Squad, by the way.
No, that was Rocksteady.
Ew, that's even worse.
Rocksteady made the Arkham Batman games.
You're right. No, I'm tripping. The people that made Avengers, didn't they make Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, they made Guardians of the Galaxy,
Okay.
which that one was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Avengers was very much not.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that good.
For one of all, the trailers looked amazing. It was like basically Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, but it was all, in dynamic 3D instead of over the top. And some of the moves and powers you could use were freaking amazing. Iron Man's flying looked really good. His propulsion looked good. Hulk smashing everything.
I like how he also even got bigger, too. Mm-hmm. That was a nice little touch.
And then Thor being able to throw his hammer or bring it back. It's just like, this looks amazing, the amount of work that went into it. Nope, it's all pretty much light work. And all made for Miss Marvel, who is the lady who has stretchy powers. She's the teenager that has stretchy powers, which I don't mind her as a character, but it's like we get all of his trailer for it only for Miss Marvel, which she was in the trailer too, which I don't really mind her, but most of it was mostly centered around her trying to get them all back together because there was a big conspiracy that like the Avengers were basically disbanded because of some drama that went down between them or that. And I don't even remember why, but I remember an actual scene I thought kind of went a little hard was she found Bruce as Hulk and managed to calm him down. Then they went and they found Tony Stark as Iron Man.
Tony? Hey, Bruce.
And Iron Man looked at him. It's like,
It was.
I'm just like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And Bruce is like, no, I deserve that one. I'm not going to get mad about that. I deserve that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Going up to Bruce and straight up punching him in the face, that was the only thing I thought was really hard about that. Everything else, the powers were not as fun as you'd think it to be because everything is just a big, giant damage sponge.
And honestly, so the one thing I think that was really cool about the game was all the different outfits. But I will also say that was also a downside too.
Yeah, because it became a live service game.
Yeah, they were also just like color swaps.
Which it's just like, again, why I think, sometimes the success of Fortnite or other live service games have kind of diminished, other games in the future because now a lot of developers think that live service is where the big money's at.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So instead of, making $1 billion like Fortnite did, all of them want to do the same thing but don't have the actual, originality that Fortnite had at the time, or the at least unique gameplay that Fortnite has. Because I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, but I can at least say it's unique.
Yeah, I mean, until
they added in a skin for absolutely everything.
Yeah, every gaming pantheon exists, isn't it now?
But then the last one I was going to talk about, which I played a little bit, but again, I just couldn't get through it, was Anthem. Basically, you look like you have Iron Man suits, you fly around like Iron Man, have space powers, and the actual problem with the gameplay was fun. It was amazingly fun.
So, as someone who actually put a lot of time into that game, bro, like, see, advertisement, peak, gameplay, peak, story, mediocre at best. But
I mean, for something like that, you wouldn't really care. You would just more care about the gameplay.
the fact that they gave you 4 different suits, like they had the first one, which is like the one that was advertised on their game case. That one was reminds you the most of War Machine, right? Then you had the Elemental one you were talking about, who was like, I think, so they all had their own buffs and debuffs. And like, for example, the Hulkbuster one was the slowest, but it hit the hardest naturally, and it could take the most damage. Meanwhile, the War Machine one, hovers in the air and has a Gatling gun and missiles all over him that aren't as big and strong as the Hulkbuster, because the Hulkbuster has a Gatling gun, like a type of thing. And then there was the Elemental one, and then there was just a pure speed one, right? So those were really cool and all. Great. Even how it worked, like the flying mechanic worked. Peak, like they solved it.
The problem that came from the game was the endless grinding you had to do anything fun. Like, it would stop you, like, you having fun? Great, now go grind here so you can do it again. It's like, I don't want to do the grindy thing. I want to do the fun thing.
The biggest thing, in my opinion, that was wrong with that game was obviously the mission variety, the rewards, and the lack of updates.
Hey, and also, again, just like Marvel's Avengers, every enemy was like a damage sponge once you got to a certain level.
Yeah, because once you try to do the harder difficulties and stuff, like, if you weren't maxed out level with purple,
It was one of those things like an MMO where it's just like, all the bosses always take raids and hordes of people in order to actually beat the boss, or you're just stuck there for hours on one guy.
Yeah, normally your ult could clear an entire group of enemies. You'd have to spend your ult just to take down a difficult enemy, but not even the boss.
It's just like the ult should actually do like something.
Yeah, because you're just sitting there kind of like, let me just like whittle them down, crack the shield a little bit. Nah, it's just like ding 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 ding.
Or no, it's just like this. This is their health. You hit them with your strong weapons. Ding 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 ding. Meanwhile, they're hitting you with a bunch of bullshit that makes your health go funk 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 funk.
Pretty much. It's kind of tragic, actually. I've only done like the hardest difficulty based stuff one time, and when I tell you, even like the base enemies, I just wanted to try it, right? Because I was nowhere. I was like the minimum level requirement, but I wasn't the gear requirement, because gear spawns in that game were worse than a homeless man trying to play basketball with a football.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah. Again, it's one of the reasons I fell off of it, but.
I mean, before they shut the game down, I honestly...
I forgot it shut down.
Flying around a little bit was just
If they had just given the game more support and actually just cut out the fat, then that game would have been incredible.
Well, they were supposed to be dropping a whole new expansion for it, but then they were just like, instead of
dropping the whole new expansion, we're just going to be dropping the game.
Pretty much.
But anyway, that's some of mine. What's another one you got?
So one that I think like it was solid advertisement, but it was also it turned out to be a better game in general. I was going to say Digimon Time Stranger. Digimon is crazy.
Digimon Tiddymon. I mean, it's got the baddies in it.
Right. Digimon Time Stranger. So when I first heard about this, I heard about it on Twitter, now formerly known as X.
I heard it everywhere through social media. Like, I saw a lot of it. But then again, you were also sending me a lot of stuff. Through like TikTok and stuff.
When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, yeah, we're actually getting a game. Like, to be fair, I just saw the character and I was like, the character looks silly. The mons, I wonder what new mons are going to be in it. But then when I actually got hands on the demo, because you told me, I sent you information on it, but you found the demo. So then I played the demo. I was like, oh, yeah, let me just.
Oh, yeah, because I found the demo and you were trying to encourage me because, as I've said in this channel, I hate Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, and Hacker's Memory. Two of the worst games, in my opinion, that I've ever played in my life. But then this game, again, it's a Digimon Story game, different director, but everything I saw about the game made it look good, which worried me. because I didn't want to have that experience again. Yeah. I did not want to have Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory. I'm like, no, this game's going to hurt me. No, don't make me go back. No, it looks good. No, don't do that to me. I'm like, there's a trick here. It's a trick. That's how paranoid I got because Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory were that bad. Where I'm like, no, it looks good, but no, remember how much you got hurt. No, but.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the rare cases of like, I don't know if a lot of games do it now these days. Some do, but most don't. Like it actually showed improvement and growth. And
the second I played the demo, I'm like, oh my God, voice acting, which I'm like, to me, that's not always something you need in a game, but it does help. But then I'm like, oh my God, you can skip cutscenes. You can skip all the information you don't care about. In Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, I didn't care, and I was pressing the X button to skip through. Tell me why it took 20 minutes to skip through a cutscene I didn't care about because there's no skip feature. This one, you can skip the dynamic cutscenes. In Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, they just had the 4 characters awkwardly standing in the middle of the screen with a picture of the room that they were in, not actually showing their dynamic in the room. So you had to make up in your head what is their dynamic. There's that one I showed you where you're being chased by like the robot trash can for some reason, and I'm like, are we running through the city? This is taking forever. What is happening? I still don't know the answer to that because I skipped everything. I still don't know what that was about or what happened. But this one came out and oh my God, it improved on in every way. And I'm so glad we got a different director for it because he cooked with this one.
Storytelling was pretty good, even though
the actual main story at the end was kind of really dumb.
To be fair, though, let's just be honest. A lot of games currently are having that, strong start, strong mid, but the minute the finish line's right there.
I mean, that's like, always a JRPG, though, where it's like, where it's just like, hey, go help this cute little creature in the beginning. And final mission, kill God. And that's basically what you had to do. You had to kill the God of Time. But the God of Time wanted to die. That was the whole dumb plot of the game, which I thought the plot was dumb at the end. But at the same time, the game was fun in the end. Because, spoiler alert, Chronomon, his whole thing was like, hey, I want to die because I don't want to be the God of Time anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And then God himself is like, no, you can't. You're the God of Time. You literally need to be here and do it. He says, but I don't want to. He goes, but you have to. Well, then I'm going to end myself. I'm going to end myself. I'm going to show you. And God's like, no, you can't. It's like, screw you. I'm going to start an entire war just so my life can end. Ha ha. And then he creates this whole war for it.
And just to have another version of himself take
over. Just to have another version of himself. So in the end, Chronomon is still technically the God of Time.
But it's not Jupitermon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's odd. It's weird. But at the end of the day, the gameplay was good. They absolutely mainstreamed everything that was wrong with the original games.
There are obviously things that they can be worked on, but
of course, but compared to the original games, because like you said, Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory were the absolute best Digimon games you had, and then me thinking they're the worst gaming experience I've ever had, I'm like, this was your best? This was the best?
You should have seen what came before that.
I don't wanna.
You already know what came before it,
like actually. Digimon Survive, the Digimon World games, I'm like...
Survive came after.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't saying about what came after. Digimon Survive came out after
Hacker's
Memory. Mm. But even that... And I thought that was...
Dawn and Dusk.
Yeah. I remember I didn't play those games, but I remember I think Jane Animations did a animation about it. And then she was just as confused, and it was one of the worst gaming experiences of her life as well. But then she said she might like Cyber Sleuth. I'm like, Cyber Sleuth is, in my opinion, and the worst one, just because I've only ever played that one.
Yeah. If you think Cyber Sleuth is bad, I did tell you to play Dusk and Dawn.
Yes.
Because you have a DS, but...
Oh, and yes, and I kind of blew a casket. I'm like, no. And you were surprised by that. I'm like, you do not understand how much I hated this experience, how much I promised you I would do it, then I did it, and I almost thought about breaking the promise because I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I did it, and I regret it. But also, I enjoyed that I had the experience. Because now I have a great story to tell. But anyway... crazy. Oh yeah, okay. Them games, I'm sorry, were the ultimate contradiction. Like, it's the ultimate contradiction in my head where it's just like, I didn't have to go back to them. I didn't. But I love the catching creatures and evolving them mechanics so much that it pushed me through the game, despite the fact I don't think it was that worth it.
Okay.
To the point, even before Time Stranger even came out, I thought about replaying them until I remembered how much it hurt me.
You need the Beast type scenario.
No, that's more of like the Abuse of X type of thing.
Oh.
It's like, I remember how they hurt me, but I missed them.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's you become romantically attracted to your abuser or kidnapper.
Yeah.
In Beauty and the Beast's case, it's kidnapper. But
Stockholm Syndrome.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we're on a big side tangent.
Okay.
Advertisement for...
Oh, the advertisement. Honestly, I thought the advertisement was kind of like...
I didn't actually see a lot of it through mainstream. I only saw a lot of it through social media. I didn't even see like any trailers for it, any big major game award shows, unless I just missed it.
Possibly.
But for the most part, I didn't see any, like I said, big trailers for anything for it. I've only ever seen what you showed me. But then again, I'm someone that I don't like seeing a lot of trailers of it if I know I'm going to play it.
Yeah, so it was one of them things where I found screenshots of like the character designs first, and then they had the game case cover was leaked, and the image that was leaked was what ended up being on the game case, correct? Mm-hmm. So when that happened, they started going into like who is X, Y, and Z character, right? Like they showed the male character and the female character. They had names. Then they showed,
and also their existence in the game is a little kind of dumb, a little iffy. It's like they're a third version of Chronomon somehow.
Yeah, they're a concept that he created due to something else.
Yeah. I mean, we swear this game is good. It's that one, in my opinion, is the absolute best Digimon game we have, and we might get for a while until they do a sequel.
I will argue Survive is an actual really good game as well, but if you don't like the type of gameplay it is, then you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, Digimon has always been outshined by Pokemon, but it seems like Digimon, with a lot of their media, is kind of coming back. Will they ever get as big as Pokemon? I highly doubt it, because even Pokemon at its worst is still selling the absolute best.
Yeah, because
that's talking as a fan of the franchise.
As a Digimon fan, it was really cool to see that for a little bit that they were doing better than Pokemon, but it wasn't gonna last because there's too many Pokemon fans and too many more people who like that more than Digimon, which is valid. So
yeah, Digimon is just a more complex situation than Pokemon, because Pokemon, those are just the animals of the world. Digimon, it's a whole separate parallel world where a bunch of conflicting lore. Meanwhile, Pokemon, it's usually consistent with the lore outside of a few side games.
Yeah, I think it was really cool that people from the Pokemon community were saying that this was a really great game. But as we were back to the conversation, the advertisement, do you have another one for us?
Yes, this one, and it's kind of like with Digimon on Time Stranger, where I don't think these games had a lot of good advertisement, but they were still successful despite that. Well, one of them being Undertale.
Okay.
Undertale, I love that game. I absolutely love it. I recommend anyone play it. I even recommend you play it. It's not very long, depending on what run you do, because also the genocide route can be a little hard. That's the route where you kill absolutely everybody. But you can do a pacifist, neutral, or genocide. I always recommend either doing a pacifist or genocide, because the neutral route's just kind of generic boring. But you just grow very attached to these characters. You grow attached to everything. But there wasn't a lot for trailers or a lot for advertising, just because Toby Fox mainly did a lot of it himself. I think maybe eventually he grew a small team, but for the most part, the game was mainly worked on by him. And then he just kind of promoted it through the grapevine. A lot of people picked it up and started playing it. He even made recommendations that to every YouTuber that was going to cover it, he encouraged them to encourage their audience to go play the game before they started. And I even remember this was for Game Grumps. Shout out to Game Grumps. But this is when Ross and someone else was playing it at the time, and not Dan and Aaron themselves. But they posted on the Game Grumps channel a playthrough of Undertale. And at first it didn't do good, because they even encouraged their audience, like Toby Fox said, to go play the game. And they got little to no views, only a few thousand, which is terrible for a big channel like them. And then literally a week or two later, after a lot of people played the game, boom, hundreds of thousands of views. It exploded because everyone just appreciated this game so much and Toby Fox so much and the unique idea of it so much that they just went and played it despite the fact that, it's a popular game and you would want to actually see it before you play it. No, a lot of people played it before they saw it. All just through word through grapevine.
Yeah, that's the beautiful power of word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Speaking of word of mouth, there's Dark Souls. As someone who's part of the community, they actually had decent advertising. But at the time, aside from Demon Souls, it wasn't really that much of a franchise yet. But then when it came out, it became the game you play if you're tired of games that you believe are too easy.
Mm-hmm. So I was going to say, I remember when Dark Souls was coming out, it was advertised as a, hey, you want to be a cool looking knight-like dude in medieval era times and fight hard, challenging bosses? Come on down. I got a bag of candy for you.
It's just like, hey there, I got a bag of candy for you. Come on. I got you. Come on in. Only to just rub your face in the dirt, shove the dirt into her mouth, force you to swallow it. Just like, yeah, you be there, good little piggy. Then put your face back into the dirt.
You know what's crazy? That entire time you were saying that, it just reminded me of that one Vine when Ronald McDonald was like, and he slapped the dog mess out of somebody.
Yeah, but basically that was Dark Souls, where it's like, it didn't lie to its fans and what it was going to be, because they even had an edition, a Prepare to Die edition, where the whole game is based around, you're going to die a lot. Because this game is hard. Some of it rides on bullshit, but a lot of it is also how easy do you make the game. It was the first concept of its time. And we've talked about Dark Souls and Souls-like games a lot, but that was basically at the time when it came out. Not a lot of people knew about it because you had all your juggernauts of gaming, but all of them had difficulty selectors of some kind or were just borderline easy, like Mario. But even then, Mario got progressively harder as it went on. Meanwhile, you had other games like Call of Duty, Halo, just a whole bunch of other mainstream games at the time that had like difficulty selectors to where you can just go and do whatever you wanted. But not Dark Souls. Dark Souls, one fixed difficulty, and it's brutally hard for everybody. But now the question of the game is, how difficult do you want this experience to be? Right. Like, because here's all these tools at your disposal, you just have to go out and find them and actually learn the game. If you don't want to learn the game, that's fine. You can beat the game. You're not going to have the funnest time, but you can do it.
And then Sekiro became a thing.
And then Sekiro, if you don't know how to parry, you're not beating that game. Like, even if you have all the items, all the equipment in the world, if you don't know the basic of pressing the button at the time the enemy hits, you're not beating the game.
If you can, I'm sure someone has done it by now.
Maybe, but at the same time, it's probably be extremely difficult. But then another one that went through word of mouth, and this one exploded a few years ago. God dang, it was 7 years ago. Not 7 years ago, 6 years ago. We're in 2026. Because in 2020, we got Among Us.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I forgot. Among Us, little jelly bean people that's not Fall Guys. But we got that. But guess what? That game came out in 2018. And it blew up in 2020 due to the lockdown.
I mean, a lot of games got more popular due to lockdown.
Yeah, a lot of games did get more popular, but that was a game that exploded because of lockdown. Because that game, again, 2 years old, it wasn't even a retro game or anything to go back and look at how interesting games were back then. It was just a 2-year-old game that because no one could go out and do anything, people just got together online and started playing it and fell in love with the formula. Two imposters, 2 liars that you have to weed out before they weed you out.
Yeah.
And then when you watch some YouTubers, again, it was all through YouTuber word of mouth. YouTubers and online social media personalities. It was all just about, the drama of it. And just the hilarity of, I can't believe they lied like that and they got away with it. One of my favorites is Markiplier. He went up and he went into a building. He murdered someone, and then Jacksepticeye came up behind him. Mark was the imposter. Jacksepticeye wasn't. And then Markiplier killed him right in front of Jacksepticeye, and Mark's like, oh,
God, well, that's a problem. Oh, it's Mark! It's Mark! It's Mark! Shit!
Oh, geez, that's a problem. Oh, my God, that's a problem. and then Jacksepticeye was trapped. This is before proximity chat in the game, so they couldn't hear each other. And then they're just running around. And of course, Jack's gonna, say like, hey, yeah, I just saw Mark do this. But then the second the meeting started,
This is big brain time.
It was Sean. I saw him do it.
even though Mark had been caught lying earlier in the same round, and it was one of the most hilarious lies because Jacksepticeye got booted out, and the first thing Mark said was,
I can't believe that worked.
Jack was just like, he even admitted to killing Wade. And then Wade, he came back and he was just like, yeah, the time he said me and him were together, we weren't together at all. And then it was such a bold lie. I had to think about, I was like, was I with Mark? Because that would be so stupid to lie about.
Dragon Adventure, baby! Come get it!
Started out really super cool. It was like Tiny Tina, like, yo, what's up, butt lickers? Everybody ready to play this game? Let's do this, bro. Like, come on. Like, come on. Roll the dice. And then it's just, I remember distinctly one scene when you rescue XYZ character, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to go set on your adventure. Then Tiny Tina's like, oh, wait, my bad. The whole shit explodes.
It's so beautiful! New Ocean, I'll see you in hell!
I think it was one of those games that was trying to also be a little satirical. But even then, I thought, even with some of the best ones, like the Deadpool game, even the satire of the game can kind of get in the way of the fun of it. If it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, we have to do this in the game because games do that now.
Ooh, excuse me. But
You're welcome.
The banter actually in the game, I think the banter in the game wasn't really the problem. It was just like,
But I mean, like when it affects the gameplay, though.
yeah, it was kind of funny, honestly, at least the first time.
That's the problem with kind of humor games. That's also the South Park games. While they are fun on their own, sometimes when you go back and you're like, yeah, it's a joke you heard a million times, yet the gameplay isn't there to also, coincide with it, then a lot of the jokes are just kind of fall flat.
Yeah, because the best thing about Borderlands is like the weapon variety and the humor, and then the how like non-serious they are about actual serious things. Like for example, Borderlands 2, you can have a gun walk around with you on its little tiny stilt legs and shoot people for you, or you can get a gun that's infinite ammo. Or you get a gun that shoots like your money that you earned in the game.
Sounds like crazy, chaotic fun.
Yeah, but then when you get to the Tiny Tina game, it's like the commentary was there. The storytelling, I think, was there for the most part. But then when it came to weapon, like that was the one game that had the least amount of weapon variety that it was painful. Because that's what the game is. No, it's a looter shooter. But all the loot was the same
I think the whole point of the game is it wasn't trying to be a looter shooter anymore. I think it was more supposed to be like a satire type game.
Maybe, because like they still had elements of everything of older games. And I want to say this came after Borderlands 4. Which,
so what you're saying is it probably couldn't escape its past to fully move on and do the cool new thing that it was probably trying to do.
Yeah, because
like it still held on to old mechanics, even if they didn't really fit the new game.
Yeah, because like the whole point of it was presented as a board game, but then once you get to like the area section you're landing in, you're playing it as if it was an original Borderlands game. So it's like, hey, roll a dice, you go 5 spaces, you get to X location, and then that X location turns into like the traditional Borderlands we're used to. And then after that, I think it was really like all the little side objectives that were rinsed and repeated along with the weapon repetition. Along with like,
it was just too repetitive and didn't have enough of like cool new things.
It was.
I think it was trying to
watered down Borderland experience.
I think it was just trying to heavy ride on. What's her name? Tina.
Yeah.
It was trying too hard to ride on just purely Tina's personality to complement the gameplay when it needed more like of the original gameplay rather than too much of the comedy.
Because for you got a great example is even in like Borderlands 3, or I think it is 2, where she has her own expansion where she's like the main focus of it, and you take part of her little adventure in it, and that part was wonderful.
The only thing I've ever seen of like Borderlands, like a actual scene I've seen was scene where her and this guy, they like had a bag over their head and like some guy was trying to interrogate them because they were injected with truth serum. And then the guy's like, "You're lucky I don't hit girls." And she goes,
Me neither. But for you, I'd make an exception.
but yeah. I think it was advertised. It had decent advertisement, but gameplay just kind of fell flat because
it
of
was
it.
like mediocre. It was like middle. It wasn't bad.
I think it was like kind of like with one of my biggest last points was the Wii U. Like the marketing of it was terrible. Well, because even people like me, I'm a Nintendo fan. I thought that was just a little tablet for the Wii. I had no idea it came with a whole new console. It was their first jump into HD because the advertisement for it was terrible. Because it looked like you were about to say something. You yawned.
That was a great, yeah.
But yeah, basically there was just that where it's just that was one of the biggest reasons it was a failure is just because the advertising was just terrible and also lack of third party support. Which nowadays I think Nintendo's going a little too heavy on the third party support and on the first party support. Because we could do with a lot more first party games at this point or a lot of brand new IPs outside of Fire Emblem and, Xenoblade Chronicles. Because, cool, RPGs are fine. I don't want two massive ones when I want something a little different. But that's just my rant on that. But then, some of my last ones, I want to run through these. I'm going to gauntlet through these. And these are games that I feel that in the advertisement, it advertised something different than what was actually given to us. Same with your Halo one. I want to bring it all the way back to the beginning. One of it is No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk. Because as everyone knows, they came in, they promised, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. No Man's Sky was just missing all the features it said it was going to have. And then finally they came back and redeemed it. But then I always have that philosophy. Is it actually good or is it just better than what it was? Is it actually the game that they promised? Or is it just, like a weaker version of what could have been great if they actually stuck to their promises?
Absolutely weaker.
And then something like Cyberpunk, again, people say like it's actually good now with the DLC and all the updates and everything. Your favorite game, I still had nothing but a buggy, glitchy experience with it, even with all the updates. Because like I said, we talked about it. And I was following the traffic laws. The car came around. It hit me. Then the car goes, poof, explodes. And then I got gang members mad at me. I got the cops mad at me, shooting at me. I'm driving away scared, like, what'd I do? Till finally someone shoots me in the head. I die, then my car explodes. I'm like, what? I don't understand. What happened? So, yeah.
Early Tom Chaos.
So I still don't think Cyberpunk fully delivered on what I think was promised.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. Another one, kind of a little side one, was Metal Gear Solid 2, which had you play as Raiden instead of Metal Gear. That one was going to be more tied into Laufey, but we didn't really get to that in this episode. But then again, we talked about it enough in the last episode. But it was another one of those things where the main character got changed, and everyone didn't like it at first, only to find out it's one of the coolest ones, because it turns out the whole game was just a simulation, which was really cool. But again, that was not what was advertised. But it was one of the biggest plot twists of the game. But we'll talk about a game I thought was really great until the plot twist, until the later half of the game. Or, yeah, probably the last half of the game is when it was the weakest. And that is Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight, and with Jason Todd as the Arkham Knight, which I felt like we got lied to about that. And also, where do I begin with that? Well, basically, whenever I was heavily following all the information, because at that point, I was a full-blown Arkham fan. I loved every game, even Arkham Origins, which I think was a bit weaker compared to City, but it still had enough of its own flair, like, the Deathstroke boss fight. But then we got other things, like the
trailer for that game was hard as hell, though. I'm not.
Oh yeah, the trailer was really good. Then Bane being an absolute menace. But then we get Arkham Knight. We go to Arkham Knight, and we are promised a brand new original character for this game in the Arkham Knight. You're so excited. I'm so excited. I'm like, well, I know about Red Hood, and Red Hood was like a pre-order bonus, I'm pretty sure. And I got the pre-order bonus because I pre-ordered that game, and I even I even beat his mission before I played the game because it doesn't spoil what happens in the rest of the game. Even though once you play, you have to realize it happens after the events of Arkham Knight, because it turns out Arkham Knight is Red Hood, Jason Todd. And I'm like, but no, you promised original character. But no, the Arkham Knight is an original character. The Arkham Knight persona just happens to be Jason Todd, aka Red Hood. I'm like, this dude has 3 names? Like, what are we doing here? And he was called the Arkham Knight because that's where Joker took him and tortured him until Joker lied to Batman and said, he killed him. So that was in my opinion, one of the absolute weakest moments in everything, because I felt like I was lied to the entire time. I'm like, what? It was just Red Hood? That makes me failed. That makes me failed. You don't like the way I say that? That makes me failed. But yeah, I got kind of bummed and depressed because I'm like, okay, so what's the thing with Scarecrow now? Now that I think about the whole writing for the Arkham series, for the first 2 games, it felt like the writing was really good because it felt like these were just maniacs going like on a whim off something. Like,
Knight wasn't. Knight was the only one that I've beaten, but I played the other 2 vaguely. But I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Well, the thing is with the other ones, like with Arkham Asylum, yeah, it was Joker in his whole plan to take over the facility and get the Titan formula to, create his own army of Titans. Second game, you learn that Joker's dying and he needs the cure, but then you have to go to Mr. Freeze, but then you find out Penguin captured Mr. Freeze, so you have to go beat Penguin, then go to Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze says he needs old blood. I'm like, I know some old blood, Ra's al Ghul, I'll go to him. Then you go to Ra's al Ghul. It feels chaotic, but because the whole entire city is now chaotic, because it's one giant prison, that's a city full of the most dangerous psychopaths, now, of course, the writing isn't that coherent with any of them because they're all just doing their own thing. And Batman's just there trying to stop all of them. So he's stopping all of them in the middle of their thing. Now, the other one, the other characters were side quests. You don't have to do any of them in order to, get to the main mission. To get the true ending of the game, yes, you do. But to actually beat the game, no, you don't. So then when you look at Scarecrow's plan, none of his plan makes sense.
A Scarecrow for you.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense, but he acts like it's supposed to make sense. But I don't know. That's my whole 2 cents on that writing. But then one of them that I want to bring up, the last thing I'll bring up, is Last of Us Part 2. Where we get a trailer of Ellie seeming like Diane. What's her name? Diane or Diana? Like her new girlfriend in the game, is killed by this rogue group, and she's mad and says, I'm going to kill every single last one of them, only for her in the trailer to get grabbed.
What the hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
And then when you get to the actual game, nope, turns out in the first 20 minutes of the game, Joel dies. Spoilers. Joel dies, and who actually said that? Jesse. Jesse said that. Yeah, this random nobody character. Mm-hmm, this random nobody character that doesn't have that much screen.
Is he friends with Joel, or at least?
No, he's friends with Diane. It's actually Diana's ex. I keep calling her Diane. I don't know if it's Diane or Diana.
I'm gonna say D.
D, I guess so. Even though I'm a big fan of the franchise, I didn't really like that plot device because I thought that was just kind of confusing. But the whole thing of it that was really just irritating is that you promised Joel was going to be later in the game, and then he wasn't. And then even then, we got Abby, which I've come around to Abby. That's my whole problem, is I do think the game is fun. I just think writing and execution-wise, it's done completely out of order, so it feels all jumbled, confusing, and incoherent to the point, and you just get to these moments where you just kind of groan. Like, what's his name? I think the main bad guy's name is Simon, I think. I don't know. Oh, but everyone's just like, you don't want to mess with Simon, only for Simon to just get shot in the head with an arrow. Someone is mad outside. They're matching my energy right now. But, basically, you just get all these different things that you didn't expect from it. And sure, plot twists are good for the game, but we were promised Joel at that point. and then only for Joel to die. Do you know how bad the backlash was? I'm pretty sure they deleted that trailer. Like, I'm pretty sure I went back and tried to find that trailer where Joel was in it. Gone. Completely gone. Unlisted or privated to where no one can see it anymore. So even shows like after it came out, people were still mad about it. And that's one of the only things I feel like I was really upset by the game. How are you going to say Joel is in the game only for him to not be in the game? Showing how advertisement can absolutely influence how you feel about the game even all these years later.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little wild. But, you know, I think that was disgusting.
That was absolutely disgusting. We might have to cut that out.
We have to absolutely cut that out.
I felt the whole gurgle of go into my even I felt violated. All right, sign us out, buddy.
Well, okay. Anyway, that's all what we have for you guys today. Let's just talk about some games that had some moderate to good to terrible advertisements. And
Just the entire advertisement on gaming as a whole and how it can impact the final product.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys, you know, when you look at some gameplay trailers, you notice these things as well. I mean, hopefully you still enjoy the game, but, you know.
Hey, put in the comments some of your thoughts on it.
Yes, sir. Make sure you like, save, and subscribe. And we're signing off.
All right. Bye, guys.